Hello, my fellow Ghoul Renegade, and welcome back to a brand new video of Ghoulish Reacts. Okay, so this is technically a re-upload of part 2 for Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. You want to know why? You really want to know why, guys? Well, I'm going to tell you, Ghoul Renegade, why this is a re-upload, and why this is such a big inconvenience to me, personally. I got copy claimed. Yes, I did say before that I was doing the YouTube series so I wouldn't get copy claimed. Well, you want to know who copy claimed me? Universal Music Group. And you want to know what song? This song. Episode 4, the computer song, is the only song that was copyrighted under Universal Music Group and under Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I did my research on this, and when everyone reacted to just episodes 1 through 3, they didn't get copyrighted. But as soon as they got to episode 4, they got copyrighted. And it's only this song too. I don't know why. So basically, for the beginning part of this video, I'm going to give you guys a rundown of what happens in episode 4, since I basically had to rewatch this so I can give you a rundown. Okay, the rundown kind of pretty much starts like this. Red, Duck, and Yellow are sitting at a table, and they're playing a board game known as Question Fun. Within this board game, Red Guy picks up a card that says, "What is the biggest thing in the world?" Duck and Yellow try to answer this, and they both fail miserably. Duck kind of gives some foreshadowing and asks, "Oh, if only there was a few things we could learn about the world." And this globe comes to life, but it turns out, psych, that's a fake out. This computer guy that's right here on the screen, he actually comes to life and starts explaining everything. He starts singing the song about how he's a computer and he's pretty smart, yada yada yada, all that stuff goes on. And then he starts data mining Red, Duck, and Yellow. And data mining is a method that is, well, it's a term commonly used when, how your computer gives you surveys and ads and all. That's pretty much what they're doing. They're data mining you to see what you like or see what you're interested in. Well, essentially, he starts data mining them. Red gets annoyed by this. He touches him, and he gets really mad at that, and he transports our three main protagonists into the digital world. Within the digital world, the computer explains there's only three things to do, which is basically graphs, dancing, and digital styles. Eventually, everything in the digital world goes out of control, and pretty much Duck and Yellow Guy get possessed by this computer guy, and they don't want to leave. Red Guy finds it to all be boring, and he physically leaves the digital realm and goes back to the real world. But when he opens up the door and walks into the other room, he finds a more low-budget version of the show that they're in being shot right now, and it's specifically the first episode. And then Red Guy's head explodes, and the episode ends. So yeah, that's our quick synopsis of episode 4, because I'm going to be moving right on to episode 5, because I'm not getting copy claimed for this again. So you're just going to stare at this beautiful computer man's face, and let us move on to episode 5 of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Our next episode is Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared 5. Okay, so let's get into it, shall we? I find it quite fun that I can actually react to this now without having to go through episode 4, because I gave you that very quick synopsis, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, just actually watch the video, because I'm going to link the entire playlist once I'm done with this anyway. So just go watch them for yourselves, and then go watch the TV show, because both of them are linked down in the description below. So yeah, there you go. I'm giving y'all a hint. I still got to watch the TV show, by the way. Okay, so there's a picture on the wall with Red, Yellow, and Duck. Duck and Yellow are sitting in the kitchen, alone, and Red is gone.
Something's different.
Yeah.
Something's missing.
And they're focusing back on that picture again. Oh, isn't that some foreshadowing right there? Okay, so Red Guy is looking in from outside in. Yellow Guy's still there, but Duck is dead, if you can notice the little X's in his eyes. And of course, it's still June 19th, that magical number, that magical day of June 19th. So, okay, so a little bit of theory on this. Something tells me that ever since episode 4, the last episode that I didn't show you because I got copy claimed, remember that? Okay, keep that in your mind. So something tells me that since Red Guy left, I think he physically left the confines of the show, and now he's officially, judging by this picture, on the outside looking in. So now he's actually seeing what's really happening to his friends other than being there in the present situation. So now he's just an outsider looking in on the situation and probably realizing how horrible it really is. Yep, there's our picture. And Yellow Guy, of course, he's not catching on to it because I think more Yellow Guy is supposed to represent us, like the Watcher, and he's also just supposed to represent a kid, you know? Yellow Guy is just kind of a kid and he's naive and all that stuff. And that's just what happens, you know? He's not really understanding what's going on, unlike Red Guy, who kind of understood what was going on. Duck, he was kind of oblivious as well. But other than that, yeah.
Is it this guy?
That's hilarious. That's pretty funny. I like that. It's funny how he just pops up out of nowhere too. It's like, oh, is it this guy? Maybe it is this singing slice of bread.
Are you hungry? You look to be a bit hungry.
No.
No.
Lots of people get hungry.
That's your body. Hungry comes from your body.
Get off me.
But your body, it must have to be healthy.
What's that? A tasty snack. You don't want to go and eat a snack like that.
Greedy to eat all that, you'll end up with your teeth all grey.
Do 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 do.
Do it healthy.
Okay, so now we have the official premise of this episode, which is about being healthy, of course, you know, as normal television would go. They're going to teach us about being healthy. Now, also, one thing that I would like to note, because this is a point of interest, this is the first time that Duck has physically reacted to the instructors or the teachers or whatever you like to call them. For the case of this series, I've been calling them the instructors because they're more instructing rather than teaching, you know? Even though it falls on the general same premise. But this is the first time that Duck has physically reacted to the instructors. Actually, no, it's the second time because he did the same thing with the clock, and that ended badly for him. He physically died in that episode. But obviously, it's kind of like they all die, but then they come back in the next episode. It's kind of weird. But I'm not going to question it. It's what the creators decided to do. But this is the first time he's felt something's different, something's off. He feels a little bit more unnerved around these instructors. And obviously, he did not like the state guy touching him for some odd reason. And so that's why I'm saying this is like more or less one of the first times he's ever reacted physically. And Yellow Guy, he's just staring on in amazement, while Duck has a more scared look on his face, a more shocked look, a more skeptical look, so to speak. Anyway, let's continue.
Food is talking.
See, once again, Yellow Guy is supposed to represent us, how he's just a naive kid who really doesn't know what's going on at all. When us, the viewer, we know exactly what's going on to a certain degree. And Duck and Red, there are other prime examples of pretty much knowing what's going on, in a sense. But, you know, Yellow Guy, he's supposed to represent us. He's supposed to represent the Watcher. He's just supposed to represent children in general. Because, you know, kids are dumb and naive. And sometimes they don't really know the full spectrum of a situation until it's actually already happened. Which I think that'll probably how this might wrap up.
Let's get healthy now.
You know, I find that kind of odd and a little bit creepy how that phone ringing totally changed the whole tone of the episode, just like right away.
Hello?
Oh, Duck's on an operating table.
You see, the body is like a special house with blood, hair, and organs in the different rooms. Oh, look, there's Mr. Bladder in the basement. What? Now, food comes in through the chimney, mouth, and goes from room to room, greeting the different organs.
Hello?
Now, the good healthy food is very nice and polite to the organs, and so is invited to stay for a party. Yay! But the bad, not healthy foods are very rude and must leave through the cat flap.
Rude! That doesn't make sense.
Do be healthy.
Once again, the phone's ringing, but also, I like how Duck has picked up how this lesson that they're teaching is wrong. And it's wrong for a reason. Okay, granted, bread, yes, in a sense, it is a healthy food. But then again, can also be a bad food as well because it is a starch. And what does starches do? Specifically, when you eat a lot of starches, they make you fat. Let's just be plain and simple here. They make you fat. That's what starches do. Now, here is where I find the lesson is wrong, and Duck seemed to pick up this on well when he said the bad unhealthy foods have to leave the body. What do they show for the bad and unhealthy foods? They show eggs and they show carrots. Eggs and carrots are actually really good for you. They're not bad by any means or instance. Now a burger, that being a bad food, okay, I can see where he's going there. That part's kind of right. But other than that, the way he's teaching the lesson is wrong. And the other thing is, Yellow Guy isn't catching on to this. He's just simply going along with it because his instructors or the helpful adults are just telling him how it's supposed to be. And Yellow Guy's not willing to put any more research into it as well. Hence why I keep knocking on the point that he's just simply naive and he's not really fully grasping the whole situation. While Duck is questioning and he's like, wait a minute, this isn't right. Why are you saying this? Because it's not right. And this also shows another point on the creator's side of pretty much manipulation. They're just like manipulating Yellow Guy into believing all this junk because Yellow Guy's not willing to do the research that's required to understand what's really going on.
What's that? A tasty snack. You don't want to go and eat a snack like that.
Greedy to eat all that, you'll end up with your gums all grey. But something's wrong.
Exactly. How do we know which ones are the healthy foods to eat?
Well, that's easy. The food groups can easily be sorted using the simple health shape. Choosing normal, plain-looking foods such as bread, cream, white sauce, and aspic keep the body ticking over just nicely. Isn't that right? I need to
Oh,
go.
wait, what's this?
Fancy show-offy foods like cooked meats, fruit salad, soil foods, and yolk.
Ugh.
These foods will clog up the body with unnecessary detail. Oh no! Look, it's all broken and on the floor. Everything tastes great. But maybe we should wait before we put it on the plate. Or it could be too late.
Oh, okay. So now Duck has officially had enough and he is gone. He ain't coming back. Now, there was a lot of things that I did notice. One, you could see a red guy's face in the spaghetti for one. For two, you could see him in the microwave and when Duck knocked over the camera, you could also see red guy's legs on the floor, even though he's not present within the episode at all, but he keeps making his appearance. And one thing that I did notice, I know a lot of people don't catch on a first watch, but Yellow Guy's dad, when Duck knocks over the camera, Yellow Guy's dad is actually hanging in the rafters, and so you can tell this is being shot, obviously in a studio, and I guarantee the creators intended it that way. I mean, I know that's pretty smart though, to hide Yellow Guy's dad up in the rafters. That's pretty interesting. But also, this was also Duck more coming to the realization of how wrong this lesson really is. Them saying salad, eggs, and all that other stuff that's actually good for you is actually wrong. Once again, reinforces and drives home the point of Yellow Guy not getting this lesson, him being naive, and also them simply just manipulating him into thinking that what is really bad is good and what is really good is bad. So, let's see how this goes. Oh, that sounds like a heart machine, heart monitor, like a hospital. What in the world is that? I can't see it, bro. Oh,
What's that? A pizza slice? But you're better off with plain white sauce.
What's that? Plain white sauce? Plain white sauce makes your teeth go grey.
and that's the other thing. Your teeth don't turn gray. I mean, sometimes they do, but they're saying your gums and teeth turn gray if you eat all this bad crap. No. What these foods will pretty much do is they'll stain your teeth. Your teeth will turn more of a yellow, to which if you keep not take care of them, they will go from that yellow and turn into a brown. They won't turn gray. they will turn brown, and then they will proceed to go black, and then they'll rot, and then they'll be gone. And, for someone who doesn't know that much about teeth, I unfortunately have to know a lot about teeth because I have, someone in my family whose teeth aren't that good. And I'm not going to mention who it is because it's personal. But yeah, granted, I don't know that much about teeth, but I know that much to where they turn yellow, they turn brown, then they go to black, and then they rot out of your head. Or sometimes they go to brown and then they start rotting, and then it turns black, and then they're gone. But yeah, that's how it is.
Doesn't matter. Just throw it away. Why not try something else on your tray?
Ooh, what's that? A lovely pie? But you're gonna end up sad inside.
Aw, come on, meat man, don't you diss pie. Pie is great. That's good for you. Man, this man's destroying all the foods that I like. Ugh, I'm sad now. Oh, even the pie's sad. I agree with you, buddy. I feel that. Is that a can? Oh! Oh, he's eating duck.
But everyone has a teeth go grey. Just eat yeast and it'll go away.
But how much have you had today? Too much yeast makes your teeth go grey.
How about some onion paste? Looks like one. Have a taste.
Oh. Okay, so the can is eating duck's organ. So this is basically giving the illustration, so to speak, that duck is physically being canned, processed and canned, and he's being sold off into food for consumption. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't think it was going to take that big of a twist, but apparently I was wrong.
Wasn't onion paste? You shouldn't eat food from a stranger's plate. A stranger's plate. A stranger's plate. A stranger's plate. A stranger's
Oh.
plate. A stranger's plate. A stranger's plate.
Oh. Okay, so now duck is being microwaved in that can. Red guy is also in the spaghetti, so let's see where this goes. Oh, so that must mean the microwave's done. And so yeah, I think this just officially confirms that Duck, he's gone. He's actually dead, and he is not coming back this time. Wow, they actually killed off Duck. Oh, a yellow guy ate him in multiple can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cans. Wow, yellow guy physically cannibalized his friend. Wow, and the phone's ringing. Okay. So there's red guy leaving the telephone booth. So that does signify that he has officially left the world of the show. And he is now officially on the outside looking in. So whatever he was calling about, I'm assuming we will never know. It must have been something important though, because he called multiple times. And whenever they tried to pick up the phone, it's like the instructors interfered with the signal and they could never get through to him. So yeah, that's certainly interesting. Well, while we're here, let's move on to the final episode of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Our last episode is Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared 6. Let's get into it. Okay, so this starts off on a very dark and morbid note. So obviously, Yellow Guy's crying and he's looking through memories of him and his friends. All of them are dead, except for Red Guy, of course. So he's obviously missing all of his friends, and now he's alone in the house. Which I did kind of theorize last time that this may be Yellow Guy's house, but I actually was wrong about that, and I found out it was actually Duck's house. Because Duck says it in episode 4 that it's his house. So I was wrong. It's not Yellow Guy's, it's Duck's. So now he's all alone.
Good night, guys.
Oh, that's sad. He's all alone. He thinks his friends are going to come back and they're not. Oh. I miss them too, Yellow Guy. I feel you. It's not fun losing friends. It's not fun being alone either.
Oh, somebody's sleepy.
Huh?
But
but that's silly.
No.
Wow, okay, that is an interesting turn. So this is the first time we've actually seen Yellow Guy defy an instructor. Like he physically told that dude no, like he does not want the lesson. And I think this is about to take a very, very interesting turn.
How can you be sleepy if you don't know how to have dreams?
No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know how to have dreams. No. No.
Dreams are a movie that live in your head.
Stop.
Every night when you sleep in your bed. You could have a dream about riding a horse.
No.
Or you could have a dream about drowning in oil.
No. 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 No more songs. Ah.
Okay, so he had a very bad dream right there. Okay, so our instructor is teaching us about dreams. And so I'm assuming this isn't going to really end very badly. But speaking that is about dreams, this can actually throw into the theory that what if all of this was made up? What if this is just in someone's head? Like, what if this is actually all in Yellow Guy's head? What if all the things that we've seen didn't actually happen? And, I've been reinforcing this ever since episode 1 that the creators pose everything happening, but then at the end of the episode, they pose it like it never happened at all. Like it was kind of like a fake out, essentially. So it could be in any of the characters' heads, but since Yellow Guy is the only one now, I think it would only make sense that it'd be all in his head because a lot of the stuff is happening to him. Like he had the butterfly incident in episode 3. His clown got destroyed in episode 1. Granted, it happens, all these situations happen to every single one of them, but it seems like it's all targeted solely towards Yellow Guy for some weird reason. And also, there was one more thing I was going to bring up. And also, Red Guy is still nowhere to be found. Oh, that was the last thing I was going to bring up. I was also going to bring up that you can tell that now Yellow Guy is officially starting to grasp everything that's going on. Hence why he's defying this instructor so much, saying, no, I don't want your songs. I don't want your lesson. You just got to leave me alone. And obviously that hasn't been working. So now I think for the first time in Yellow Guy's life ever, he's starting to finally understand and grasp the entirety of the situation. He's starting not to be a dumb, naive little kid, but he's starting to expand the horizons, so to speak, and realize that everything in this world is just wrong. But he doesn't know exactly what that is yet, but that's why it scares him. And I think that more elaborates on the name, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, because it's more of like a fear of the unknown. These instructors, they pull out these random things, and it makes him scared. So I think that's a really great analogy for the whole series is all of this is just fear of the unknown, because you never know what's going to happen because it's the unknown. Let's continue.
Oh, looks like somebody's having a bad dream.
Oh,
A bad dream.
he's physically drowning in oil.
A bad dream. A bad dream.
Wow, he physically drowned in oil. Jeez, okay, I didn't think they would actually do that, literally. Okay, so now we see Red Guy asleep on his computer desk. On his desk, sorry. And he's in a suit.
Can you file these files, please?
That's funny. There's another Red Guy, and it says, "Hi, my name is Red Guy" on his tag. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Sure. Hey, but wouldn't it be funny if one of these files came alive? Yeah. I am a file, and you put documents in me, and a file. Fuck me. File. You know, it did it like a song. No. That sounds really boring.
Okay, so now this puts an entirely different spin on the whole series. So, you know how I was saying this was maybe all in somebody's head? Red Guy Why was his absence from the show so significant? Because he's the one who made the show. In essence, he has to be. Because why would he mention something like a file singing? That's just kind of odd and bizarre. But also, this shows not us being in the world of the show, but us being in reality. So, throughout the episodes, we've seen a conflict of interest with Red Guy. Specifically, him saying that certain things are boring, or him saying that certain things are fun. And it's a conflict of interest within his own mind. So, in reality, he's just a normal guy working at a desk job and not very happy with his life. The dragging on of adulthood. And this is another big reinforcement that the creators really are hammering on is adulthood. Because he has this wonderful and interesting idea and he was sharing it with his peers. And his boss just looked at him and was like, "No, that's really boring." It's because he's an adult. And adults don't think like that. But he, in his heart, has the heart of a child, of course. He's like a man child, essentially. That's the best way I can put it. Uh, he's an adult physically, but he's a child at heart, and he has all these. He still has his imagination intact, or all of his peers and his adult colleagues. They don't. They just go into work, roll out the same cycle of their mundane lives all the time, and that's where it becomes boring. That's why they thought all of his ideas were boring. Also, one thing I would like to notice is that there is a big contrast between the world of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared and also the real world. The world of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is really bright and colorful, while in the real world it's very dulled down colors, except, well, of course, Red Guy and all of his colleagues. It looks very normal looking. It looks exactly like the real world, of course. Anyway, let's see what happens next. So now Red Guy is obviously sitting alone after work in a club or a bar. At least that's what it looks like to me. And he looks really sad, really depressed that, probably that nobody sees the world or sees his ideas the way he does. Because obviously, like his boss said, that's boring, because that's not the way adults think. Adults are supposed to be mature. They don't have time for childish thoughts or childish games. But Red Guy, he's different from all of his peers because he has an imagination. He is creative. Funny, I didn't mean to make a pun, but it plays off of the first episode. I think that's the whole reason is that he's actually creative and, all of his peers aren't because they're all boring. They don't have the same mindset he does.
But I was like, yeah, that's not even the same bucket. Bucket friend. I am the cool guy, I guess. Laid back and sad. But nowadays I hurt my leg today. And I'm scared.
And notice how like his peers' conversations are so boring. Like they're just talking about normal mundane stuff that could happen to anyone every single day. And I could see why Red Guy wants to do something new, why he has different ideas than everyone else. Because honestly, in Red Guy's mind, his real mind, he sees his real world as boring. Hence probably why he made up the world of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared all up in his head. And hence why he puts himself in it, too. So, I guess, hey, creator and creation can bind? Interesting thought, I guess. Oh, he took off his suit. Oh no.
That's rude. No clothes. What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative. How do you get the idea? I just try to think creatively. When you look at this orange, tell me please, what do you see? Just a boring old orange.
Oh.
Maybe to you, but not to me. I see a silly face, walking along and smiling at me. I don't see what you mean, cause you're not thinking creatively. Take a look at my hair.
Oh. Okay, so that's an interesting juxtapose that they just threw in. So Yellow Guy's dad was sitting in that same club slash bar, whatever you want to call it. It's essentially a bar. Let's just get real with it. They're all drinking. They're all telling stories. The one dude was even smoking a cigarette. I mean, come on, man. We all know it's a bar. But this is interesting how he starts singing the very first song of the very first episode, Get Creative. So, this shows that Yellow Guy was the one who essentially created the whole world and the show itself. And he was trying to share that with the world, but obviously, like I said before, his adult friends, they didn't like it. They were constantly booing him because they're not creative. They think like adults. He doesn't. In a sense, he doesn't think like an adult, even though he is one. Because he has that creativity. He still has an imagination, even though he's become an adult. Which, I mean, I think that's true for a lot of people. Like, I feel that a lot of people, even when they become adults, they still have that imaginative side to them. Maybe, granted, they might not let it out as much as they used to when they were a kid, but I feel it's still there. But some adults, it completely just shuts off and they're just boring. Hence why, they all claim the fact that they're boring. So, roll Yellow Guy's dad. I don't know why I said that name. I don't even think that's his. I don't even know Yellow Guy. What is Yellow Guy's dad's name? Please leave in the comments below what's his dad's name because I don't think I know his name. And it's never been announced. I just know him as Yellow Guy's dad. So anyway, Yellow Guy's dad, he was obviously in the same bar that same night that he put on Get Creative. And obviously, adult friends hated it. They didn't like it. They said it was boring. But it seems odd why he's there. The only reason why I say that is because it's like Yellow Guy's dad saw potential in Red Guy's ideas and maybe wanted to push it further from there.
Now, friend, your voice is music to my face.
So now we're in a weird, creepy version of the show, I guess.
Time is a tool you can put on the wall or wear it on your wrist. The past is far behind us. The future doesn't exist. Time went new, not old, like history. Stuff in the past went into a mystery. You made me die.
That's hilarious. Okay, so now we're getting both sides of the story. So we're also physically in the world of the show, but we're also, once again, Red Guy on the outside looking in. And he's actually the one pulling all the strings here because this giant machine controls everything that happens within the show. So basically, now my new theory is that Yellow Guy's dad saw potential in Red Guy and gave him the funding to make the show that he's always wanted to make, or at least create the world that he's always wanted to make. Hence why he's able to put himself in it, not even just physically, but also mentally as well. And so this machine can change whatever he wants. He can change anything about the show that he wants to. And so basically, he has unlimited funding to do all this because obviously the production quality for this world or this show is really, really good. So essentially, Yellow Guy's dad gave him enough funding to where he could do whatever he wants with his world, his show, yada yada. And hence why all these instructors are coming back, of course. And Yellow Guy is just getting more traumatized as the moment. It's obviously clear. Hence, like when the clock, he was like, "Oh, you made me die." So obviously, Yellow Guy remembers everything that's happening, and it's just making him more and more scared. And this also could be a form of like the creators like showcasing manipulation, brainwashing within children's media, television, all that stuff. And they're making a lot of good, interesting points. It's more foreshadowing than anything. It's not like they're explicitly showing you, but it's more foreshadowed that it's there rather than it's not.
I'm a computer guy. Everything made out of buttons and wires. I'd like to show you. If I were here, what's it all about? You've no idea. And everywhere you look, all you see is
I can be
Oh, that is just weird and creepy. Okay, red guy, I think he needs to stop pushing buttons because he's just traumatizing his friend even more. And I think this is really starting to hammer home like the effects of television on specifically younger kids. How sometimes they can see something on the TV and not know what it is, and it can be totally unexplained, and it scares them. So, yeah, I think this is just the effects of the media literally on kids in general, and they're the creators. Like once again, they bring up so like even if you don't realize any of this on a first watch, it's it's like almost it's like present that it's there, like it slaps you in the face. Like that's the whole point, and that's why I think this became so interesting and why it took mainstream so fast. I mean, granted, it took like 6 years for them to officially get a budget for a show, like a real show. But I can see why it was like on YouTube. It became such a cult phenomenon. Like you there's no way you could have been on YouTube in certain days and not have heard of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Now, granted, I know there's people out there who haven't heard of it because maybe they don't have internet or maybe they don't have access to YouTube, but for those of us who were here, we heard about it and we knew. Granted, I was in 5th grade and I heard about this. I just never fully watched it. Uh, and I can see why it's so interesting. But anyway, let's continue on. It's almost done.
The universe, planets live inside the moon. A rocket ship can go to space. A rocket ship can go to the moon.
You know, no offense, I'd actually like to learn about the universe from that guy. He seems like the most chill instructor ever.
Ball, let's play sports. Cricket ball, red card.
That was hilarious. Red card throws it at his head.
That's right, Renegade, and it's my best friend.
I teach you how to buy a canoe.
I am a file and you put documents.
The file.
But red is for not go. You can be crushed by a bus. I know about you. Stinky mouth. Get your baby. I don't like
Oh, it's the other guy's dad. Oh. That's kind of odd why he's here. I mean, obviously it has something to do with it. It's like almost like he enjoys watching his son physically get tortured at this point, like mentally tortured. Like this is what Red Guy was doing and pushing all those buttons and all the instructors showing up all at once. That it was like pretty much mental overload, and Yellow Guy does not know how to handle it except without being scared and having a physical panic attack. Like if you couldn't tell by his like heavy breathing, like he was going and like breathing really fast, he was physically going to a panic attack. And so yeah, once again, this does hammer on the point of the effects of television or the effects of media on children. Like like I said before, you can see something, you could be young and see something on the TV that you can't fully explain and it scares you. And sometimes it can physically lead to mental trauma later if it's not resolved or if the same thing keeps happening. But now Yellow Guy is physically just being tortured. He's tired of seeing these instructors. He's tired of listening to these songs. He's done and his brain has said stop. But, you know, Red Guy, he's pushing a bunch of buttons and it's making it worse. But obviously Yellow Guy's dad has something to do with it as well. It's like when he put the hand on Red Guy's shoulder, it's like almost he was telling him to stop, or like he wanted him to keep going. Like he was putting that hand on his shoulder, like telling him, good job, keep going. But obviously now Red Guy knows something is wrong because obviously Yellow Guy's dad is here. Wow, Yellow Guy looked really horrible in those scenes. Like his hair was pretty much gone, his eyes were wide open, and he looked like he hadn't slept in physical days. And so Red Guy, he's gonna pull the plug on it all and start over. Oh, that's different. Okay, so obviously, I'm assuming without Yellow Guy's dad's influence on the show, that now Red Guy can produce the show or create the world that he's always wanted. And look at this. Isn't this funny? The very first episode, they are the colors that they called out: blue, red, and green. Green's not a creative color. Well, then why is Yellow Guy green? Now he's Green Guy. We got Blue Guy, and we got Red Duck. So yeah, that's cool. And so Red Guy pulled the plug on the show. Meaning also he probably pulled plug on the funding that he got from Yellow Guy's dad as well. And so I'm assuming this is a news cycle. Oh, the day changed to June 20th. So this is officially a fresh start. June 19th will never repeat ever again.
What's your favorite idea?
And there we go, back to the first episode. And it repeats all over again, except probably in a more better way. Well, yeah, so that was Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. That is the entire thing all the way through. Like I said before, if you really want to watch episode 4, go watch it for yourselves, because I'm going to get clappy claimed if I watch it. I'm just letting y'all know. But also in the description below, I'm leaving the links once again so you guys can watch the actual television show produced by the people who make Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. So yeah. So please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications when I upload new videos. And make sure to follow my social media links down in the description below to join the Ghoul Renegade. Without further ado, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!